Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Friday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. Getting into the news tonight, a public consultation meeting was held earlier today at the Walvis Bay Municipality Hall to provide an opportunity for public input into the environmental impact assessment that is being carried out for the radioactive facility. Namene Nekwaya, the radiation officer, gives a brief about radiation. Let's take a look.
Radiation offers us a lot of benefits in society, in healthcare, in industry, which is what we are here today, and in different aspects of our society. And so I'm going to take you guys through certain things, and I'll put it in the context of why we are here. So radiation just means that, of course, radiation is matter and energy that comes out of matter. And remember, everything is made out of atoms. So there's that interaction. We are all made out of atoms, biological tissues, and those tissues are made out of cells. Those cells are comprised of atoms. From atoms, there are electrons, and when an electron is being removed from your millions of cells, when electrons are being removed from your atoms, when an electron is being removed from an atom of your cell, that is why there is what is called ionizing radiation. That's where the problem comes, when you are being exposed to energy that is able to remove an electron from your atom. The moment that starts to happen at the cell level, that is when problems such as perhaps cancer could develop over time.
They plan to construct these facilities in a professionally guided manner that conforms to international standards and guidelines, because issues of radiation, especially as they concern radiation, are heavily regulated. So just a bit of orientation in terms of where the site is. So the site is located in Rukumbi Kandanga Street, and the Erwin, it's situated on Erwin 6230 and 6231 of what is known as Extension 19, Walvis Bay.
Moving on, in our next story, Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Kale Schleitwan, shares more on the KSEP Collector 2 Skars-Zakupe Swakopmund pipeline project. The groundbreaking of this pipeline took place earlier today. Leandria Mowesh contributed this video.
The KSEP Collector 2 Skars-Zakupe Swakopmund pipeline makes it possible that we put in place a component that integrates the resources that supply Swakopmund and Walvis Bay up to now separately. Swakopmund was supplied from Omdel, Walvis Bay was supplied from the KSEP. When the KSEP floods and our system fails here, Walvis Bay runs dry. When Omdel is over obstructed and we have to limit water as rationed, this collector pipe is part of the project that connects the KSEP resource with the Omdel resource, so that we can supply water from Omdel to Walvis Bay and reduce the risk of a failing system in the KSEP, and vice versa. We can now supply Swakopmund with KSEP water to relieve the stress on the Omdel and avoid rationing or running dry. So that is a good example of how integrating management, resource management of water resources can bring about resilience without putting more pressure on the resource itself. This is why this project is so crucial and so important.
In some rather sad news, the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture has confirmed the death of an unidentified male who allegedly jumped from the 4th floor of the Independence Memorial Museum this morning. He was declared deceased by the Namibian police at 9:50 a.m. Next of kin have been informed. Moving on to our Community Talk segment, we look at the donation that Namibia Media Holdings and the Chinese Embassy in Namibia gave to schools in Swakopmund on the other side of the break. As previously highlighted before the break, Namibia Media Holdings, in collaboration with the Chinese Embassy in Namibia, handed over printing paper to 3 schools in Swakopmund, namely Da Palm Senior Secondary School, Okangwa Primary School, and Oshimbingwe Primary School. The schools received 3 boxes each. This initiative is set to incorporate all 14 regions, benefiting 39 schools nationwide. According to the project manager, Enzo Amwele, the initiative is aimed at offering support to education and being cognizant of the challenges that is faced by the education fraternity. Amwele also called on other stakeholders and friends of education to support the Education Ministry through My Zone, the youth brand of Namibia Media Holdings. The following video shows school principals of Da Palm Senior Secondary School, Oshimbingwe Primary School, and Okangwa Primary School in Erongo region expressing their utmost gratitude to Network Media Hub and the Chinese Embassy in Namibia.
Good day, my dear. Wow, it was really a surprise. We never know coming to Swakopmund we are going to receive this donation of photocopy papers. We really do appreciate, on behalf of Da Palm Senior Secondary School, as all the staff members, we really do appreciate. Thank you very much for giving us that donation. It will be used for good use. As I was even coming back from school, I was thinking like, oh, we need to buy again because the one we have is finished now. Thank you really so much.
My name is Mr. Josel Hinjou. I am the principal of Okangwa Primary School. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the wonderful donation that came our way. For me, it was a surprise. Did not, how should I say, know that it's coming our way, but we really appreciate it. We are going to put it to very good use. We were actually in demand of paper already. It just came at the right time, and I would like to thank you guys, My Zone, for helping us, making this opportunity true for our learners. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for this. Highly appreciate it.
Yes, on behalf of Ochibingwe Primary School, the community of Ochibingwe, the learners and staff, I would like to express my gratitude and thanks to the Network Media Hub and all its partners. Really, this contribution will contribute immensely to the success of teaching and learning process at our schools. I can promise you that you made a difference, and we will make use of the photocopy papers to contribute towards the success and the learning and teaching practice. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Photocopy papers are nowadays so expensive, and you have saved us a lot through this donation. It's highly appreciated. May God bless you and all the partners involved and make you continue shining for the Namibian child. Thank you.
That video was contributed by Precious Gitwanapo. Moving on, March 2024 vehicle sales reached 56.9%, marking the highest sales since July 2016. We'll tackle this story in our economic news segment shortly. Getting into our economic news, March 2024 vehicle sales reached 1,451 units, marking the highest sales since July 2016, when 1,540 units were sold. Out of the 1,451 units sold in March 2024, 1,269 were sold to the dealerships, 182 to rental agencies, and none to government. Vehicle sales were primarily driven by commercial vehicles. While the first quarter of 2015 holds the record for the highest vehicle sales, the first quarter of 2024 outperformed any first quarter since 2016, with a total of 3,503 units sold, representing an 11.8% increase compared to the same period last year. Now, in March 2024, a total of 826 commercial vehicles were sold, comprising of 56.9% of total vehicle sales, marking the highest sales figure since August 2016. The surge in sales can primarily be attributed to light commercial vehicles, which experienced a remarkable 29.5% year-on-year increase. However, the picture varies across different categories of commercial vehicles. Medium commercial vehicles, which saw a decline with only 20 units sold, representing a contraction of 13.0% year-on-year. On the other hand, heavy commercial vehicles experienced positive growth of 280.0 year-on-year, with 19 new units sold. Extra heavy commercial vehicles, in contrast, contracted by 12.5% year-on-year, while buses witnessed a significant decline of 66.7% in March 2024. Passenger vehicles, constituting 43.1% of total vehicle sales, saw an increase in March 2024, with 625 new units sold, the highest figure since July 2023. This surge in passenger vehicle sales may indicate rising consumer confidence and suggest economic expansion despite prevailing high interest rates and inflationary pressures, pointing to sustained momentum in new vehicle sales. Within the light commercial vehicle segment, the Toyota Hilux maintained its position as the most popular choice. In the medium commercial vehicle category, the Hino 300 series stood out, while the Hino 500 series led in heavy commercial vehicles. Extra heavy commercial vehicles were dominated by the MAN TGS, and Scania Bus emerged as a preferred option among buses. For passenger vehicles, the Toyota Fortuner remained a top choice among consumers. Let's take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.44, against the euro at 20.04, against the US dollar at 18.86. 2 Namibian dollars and 60 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, all major commodities went up, with Brent crude oil trading at 1.86%, going for $92.30 per barrel. Many displaced as floods wreak havoc in Kenya, and in Vietnam, tycoon sentenced to death in $12 billion fraud case. We expand on these after the break.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Getting into our international news, a court in Vietnam sentenced real estate tycoon Truong My to death on Thursday over her role in a 304 trillion dong, $12.5 billion financial fraud case, the country's biggest on record, state media reported. Her trial, which began on March 5th and ended earlier than planned, was one dramatic result of a campaign against corruption, which the leader of the country's ruling Communist Party, Nguyen Phu Trong, has pledged for years to stamp out. Lan, the chairwoman of real estate developer Van Thien Pad Holdings Group, was found guilty of embezzlement, bribery, and violations of banking rules at the end of the trial in the business hub of Ho Chi Minh City State, media said. Now, we will keep fighting to see what we can do, a family member told Reuters, speaking on condition of anonymity. Before the verdict, he had said Lan would appeal against the sentence. Lan had pleaded not guilty to the embezzlement and bribery charges. Nguyen Hu Thiap, one of Lan's lawyers, told Reuters. Of course, she will appeal the verdicts, he added, noting she was sentenced to death for the embezzlement charge and to 20 years each for the other two charges of bribery and violations of banking regulations. Vietnam imposes the death penalty mostly over violent offenses, but also for economic crimes. Human rights groups say it has executed hundreds of convicts in recent years, mainly by lethal injection. The Thanh Nhan newspaper said 84 defendants in the case received sentences ranging from probation for 3 years to life imprisonment. Among them are Lan's husband, Eric Chu, a businessman from Hong Kong, who was sentenced to 9 years in jail, and her niece, who got 17 years. Moving on, heavy rains and flooding in Kenya caused more destruction in several parts of the country on Thursday, local media reports, and have put the death toll from flooding in recent days at 11, with over 2,000 people displaced. We have people who have been internally displaced, who do not have a place to call home, no roof on top of their heads. Their farmlands have been submerged, Squid Williams Omulo, a resident of Oma Bay in the country's west, said. We're also talking about high rates of wildlife-animal conflict. Here we are talking about hippos that are marauding within the community, scavenging for pasture because their grazing lands have been submerged. This is really a threat to the community and is causing a lot of insecurity, he added. Kenya's meteorological department had warned the country was set to experience very high rainfall and asked people to prepare for floods. In Kirinyaga County, flood waters swept away community roads, paralyzing transport services. On Tuesday, 51 passengers were rescued after their bus was swept away by floodwaters on a bridge in northern Kenya. In our next story, Africa's most populous country, Nigeria, is facing its biggest economic crisis in decades, with the number of impoverished Nigerians rising. The free fall of the naira and an alarming surge in the cost of living caused the rise from 89.8 million at the beginning of 2023 to 104 million, according to the World Bank's Nigeria Development Update report. The high cost of living is being attributed to the soaring inflation and the high exchange rate. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics showed that inflation reached 31.70% in February 2014 from 29.90% recorded in January 2024, recording an increase of 1.80%. Mental health experts and advocates have warned the present situation is having an impact on anger, anxiety, stress, and depression levels in the country. Ayodeji Michael Oni, a Lagos-based psychotherapist and mental health advocate, says Nigerians are being pushed to the brink by factors beyond their control. Let's now take a look at our weather predictions. Katima Mulilo can expect cloudy conditions with a minimum of 18 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius. Oshakati can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 22 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius. Hendy's Bay can expect sunny weather with a minimum of 17 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 22 degrees Celsius, while Rehoboth can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 18 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius. After the break, Ari Hohat will be bringing us the sports news.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with golf news first. The first major on the men's calendar of 2024, the Masters, started at Augusta, Georgia, and it was a difficult start for the organizers. There was bad weather for the first few hours of the first day, but in the end it was Bryson DeChambeau of the United States. He came in with the leading score after the first round. That was a brilliant round of 65, that is 7 under par. Closely followed by Scottie Scheffler. He's #1 ranked player on the world rankings. He's also from the USA, and Scottie Scheffler came in with a 6 under par score. Southern African interest, it is Erik van Rooyen, 1 under par 71, tied for 17th after the first round. And then two other golfers from South Africa playing in the tournament. Charles Schwartzel, the 2011 Masters champion, he came in with a 74, 2 over par, and the same score, 74, also for Christo Lamprecht. He's the amateur from South Africa playing in the tournament. 27 players are yet to complete their round. That was because of the late start. They will do that on Friday morning, and it is one of them, Tiger Woods. He's won the tournament many times before, and Tiger Woods was on 1 under par after 13 holes. That was when it was bad light and he could not finish his round. It is Tiger Woods that's trying to make the cut for the 24th consecutive time, and if he succeeds with that, he will share that record with Gary Player and also Fred Couples. Continuing international sports news with soccer news, that is soccer news from the Europa League that was played. 2 games that was played. The one was Liverpool that had a very bad game at home at Anfield. Liverpool losing to Atalanta, and the score there was 3-0. They were shocked by Atalanta, and there's a reverse leg that needs to be played, but it's going to be difficult for Liverpool to overcome that big defeat. And they also play over the weekend. They play English Premier League game against Crystal Palace. In the other Europa League game, it was better luck for Bayer Leverkusen, and they beat West Ham of England. They beat them by 2-0. That was in the quarter-final, also in the first leg of the Europa Cup. And to conclude today's international sports news, it is tennis news. Tennis news from the Monte Carlo Masters, a men's tournament being played on clay in Monte Carlo, and the final of the tournament will be played on Sunday. Results from the round of 16 is Casper Ruud. He beat Hubert Hurkacz by 6-4 and 6-2. And then the number 2 seed, Jannik Sinner, continuing in his good form. He beat Jan-Lennard Struff of Germany by 6-4 and 6-2. And then it was Holger Rune. He had a very, very tough game against Grigor Dimitrov. And it's Holger Rune, the number 7 seed, beat the number 9th seed by 7-6, 3-6 and 7-6. And the number 1 seed, that is Novak Djokovic, also through to the quarterfinals, where he will play Alex de Minaur of Australia. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day and sport weekend, and we talk international sport again on Monday. Goodbye.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneup2.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday and Sundays from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenora Shipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.